We're talking a little bit about Silent Hill 2 Remake. First off, apparently, Bloober Team is taking inspiration from Resident Evil 2 Remake, which to me is great news. I think that that is exactly what they should be looking at. It says here from Gaming Bolt, Bloober Team has taken on immense responsibilities with the remake of Silent Hill 2, with the 2001 original survival horror title being widely regarded as one of the greatest games ever made, and its approach to remaking the legendary game. The Polish studio is making some interesting changes in terms of both gameplay and its technical aspects. Of course, plenty of comparisons have been drawn between the game and Capcom's 2019 remake of Resident Evil 2, and sure enough, the latter has very much been a source of inspiration for Bloober Team. Speaking in a recent interview with Gaming Bolt, when asked about whether Konami and Bloober Team looked at the RE2 remake as a source of inspiration, the lead producer spoke about the game's resounding success and the fact that it has considered a benchmark for remakes of classic titles, and explained that Bloober Team had similar goals for Silent Hill 2. Quote, "I cannot speak for Konami, but when it comes to Bloober Team, we definitely did. Resident Evil and Silent Hill franchises have been considered by many for years as sworn competitors. This statement might be somewhat rightful as both target a very similar player audience. At the same time, we are aware of the Resident Evil 2 remake's resounding success, and we are aware that the game is considered a benchmark on how to release a game anew after a long break. Our priority was always to create a prime game for our players, and we will use all available means to do so." End quote. So I figured I would share this with you because, when it was announced that Bloober Team would be the one remaking Silent Hill 2, and we know how important of a game Silent Hill 2 is, obviously there was some trepidation, but hearing something like this definitely gives me confidence. The idea that they're looking at something like Resident Evil 2, understanding, that is in a lot of ways the benchmark of how to do a proper remake for a game this old. I think that's good. I loved RE2 Remake, and I hope that they can do some amazing things with Silent Hill 2 that can kind of, match what we got with Resident Evil 2 Remake. But continuing to talk about Silent Hill, we're also learning that Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka have taken part in active development with this game, which I think is very reassuring. It says here, speaking once again with Bloober Team, the lead producer on Silent Hill 2 Remake talked a little bit more about Yamaoka and Ito's role on the project, explaining that both have taken active part in development. Quote, "We fell out of our chairs knowing we have the original creators on board. They gave us a much-needed explanation of the many innuendos in the game that circulated on the internet for well over 20 years, and will continue asking the OGs for their opinions on our shared gem. Besides, they've taken an active part in development themselves. Ito-san provided us with concept art for locations and monsters, while Yamaoka-san composed the music for the game," end quote. And something else the lead producer talks about here is when they first partnered with Konami, they obviously sat down and talked about what's going to change versus what's going to remain untouched, and basically saying that Konami is extremely supportive of them and encouraging, and that they're giving them the freedom to do what they think is best for the game in the end. And so I thought that this was more good news because, these are some of the original creatives behind Silent Hill 2, behind Silent Hill in general, and, just knowing that they are involved to me, it seems like a relatively significant degree. I think that's ultimately going to bode very well for Silent Hill 2 Remake. So let me know what you think about this.